I'm so excited to share this with you today. This is my complete cold DM client acquisition system that generates over 10K a month for me purely through X. And so yeah, we're gonna go through the complete funnel from the outreach, the first message you send, all the way till the final proposal that's gonna close you the deal. And so yeah, let's jump right into it. So first thing, is outreach, obviously, right? And so there's really just one way to do this pretty good. The actual message that you're sending, there's one way to do this really good, and then the way you deliver it, there's probably two ways you can do it depending on the size of the team you have. And so I'll share the two different methods that I've tried. So number one, when I'm sending a message, I do social media management, and so I help projects do content, get more engagement, bring more members into the community. And so the way I structure my message isn't like, hey, how you doing? Like, hey, open for a collaboration. Not some sort of bland message, which is just going to get ignored because they get 1,000 of those. And the second thing I avoid doing is just talking about me. And so I don't reach out like, hey, I'm Aries, I have a marketing agency, we've done this and that, we specialize in this. They're like, who cares? Like, they get 1,000 marketing agencies sending the same sort of messages to them. And so the way I like to go about it is I just say, hey, as the first part, and then I point out the issue. So I point out what they need help solving, and that's pretty much for them. And the way I approach it for social media management, which I find I'm really good at, is I point out the amount of followers they have, and then they usually average really low engagement just within my niche. The problem is going to be different for whatever you solve, whether you're a developer, you're a community manager, whether you help them generate leads, anything like that. You want to point out the very obvious issue that they have that you can help them solve. And so I pretty much say, can I share a quick Loom video I've used to 4x engagement in DeFi organically? And that's pretty much it. So it's not like I'm trying to sell them anything. You just kind of reach out, point out that you see the issue they have, and then ask them if you can help them solve it for free. The second message here is a follow-up. And so a good way I like to do follow-up is get them a little bit mad, get them a little bit upset with what you're saying. And so I like to say, have you guys given up trying to grow on X? This works well a couple times. If they don't answer this, we need to do a different type of follow-up, which I'll show you in the next tweet. But that's my great, kind of outreach message, general. I just point out an issue, ask them if I can help them solve it for free. And so there's two ways to do this. So what I usually do, especially for companies and B2B, is manual. And so I'll just have a team scrape X via keywords for the type of clients that we're looking for. And then the other way to do this is automated. And so this is a little bit better for personal brands. You use a software such as Drippy, and you can pretty much scrape and auto DM people. It's a little less personalized unless you, your way of personalizing it to match what you're going to sell them. But I wouldn't recommend it for B2B outreach, and that's because it's hard to scrape companies. A lot of the time you'll scrape company founders, or you'll scrape members of the team on the company, or fans of the company. There's so many, it's so hard to get down to the actual company, and honestly it's hard to personalize it as well. There's no way, at least with Drippy, where you can say how many followers they have, how many likes they average. It's just, you can't do it. You can only personalize the name, right? And so I don't recommend it unless you're doing personal brands, but it definitely works good depending on the scenario. So let's jump into the second thing here, and this is the audit that I give. And so what I do is I share a quick Loom video, just as I'm doing now, but this is for a YouTube video. But I pretty much share a quick Loom, and within that video, pretty much what I do, it's no longer than 5 minutes. You try to make it quick, don't waste their time. And also Loom will speed it up as well, so they'll only have to watch 3.5 minutes generally. And the content that I go over is pretty much their X page. I mean, you can even see it a little bit in the screen here. I go over their X page, and I just point out the problems that I see. So, I point out a lot of things that I see when I'm doing it personally, is the type of content they're putting out isn't that good. It's very inconsistent. They just kind of post out updates once or twice a week, and they usually struggle a lot with engagement. So they're not doing any outbound engagement. They, struggle to get their community to engage with them. There's a bunch of different issues, and really this is something that you get better with time. It's not something that you can, just the first time you do it, it's always going to suck. And so you need to reach out to a ton of people, send out a ton of videos, and if you really know what you're doing, you're going to be really good at the videos as well. And then what I also like to do is tease some results at the end. And so, for example, I also do like founder personal branding. And so I also just share analytics from my personal brand, which is small but mighty and gets a lot of reach. And so it's a great way to kind of show them that you know what you're talking about. So third step kind of reverts back to when we're doing outreach here and they're not answering us. And that's when we do the founder outreach. And so at least in my case, and I'm sharing this from my perspective, with B2B companies, there's always a social media manager and there's someone else who's in place before you hit the actual decision maker. And so the issue here is their social media manager is not doing their job good enough. And so of course they're not going to answer, right? They don't want their job taken. So what you have to do is you have to go directly to the founder, point out the issues, and take that guy's job. Or you guys work with them, either or. So what I like to do, I head to Discord or Telegram, find the founder or admin or the chief marketing officer, at least for the, what I offer. And then I pretty much send a follow-up message to continue with the audit from before. And so generally what this looks like is, hey, just reaching out because I don't think my message came through when I DM'd you guys on X. Can I share it here instead? And usually you're going to get a response from them. They're going to, answer like, hey, yeah, send it over. And then I pretty much send over the message in the same way. Can I share a quick Loom video auditing the account? There's a couple of things that I want to point out. Once again, I'm not trying to sell them anything, just trying to provide them some value. It'll kind of be 50-50 here. A lot of people are like, why not? I'll see the video. Some people just won't answer you. That's just what you face when you're doing DMs. So it's good to do volume with these to actually get results. And then you just continue on sending them the audit for there. So that's kind of like the last case scenario. And honestly, a lot of times, especially when you're doing B2B, it's going to be so hard to reach the companies through XDMs unless it's like a startup and there's no social media manager yet. And so honestly, you're better off just doing the founder outreach directly and saving yourself some time. So that's number one. So third thing, we get to the call, right? So we send them the social media audit. They love it. Like here, for example, thanks for Loom, really great insights. Are you available for a call next week? We're currently looking for someone to help us with content. And then, you get the call booked, schedule it in. And so for the first call, really what I like to do is I don't sell it all in the first call. So it's not like I come on with my proposal, here's what I offer, here's how much you're gonna pay me. I kind of just build a relationship and I learn the pain points that they're having. Not so much just the pain points, but their goals as well, right? So at least with companies, it's not so much like people who are lost. Like these are structured organizations, they know where they want to get. They might have some issues getting there, or they want to execute a certain campaign or reach a certain goal. They just need some help to get there. And so I don't like to sell in the first call. I like to kind of consult and address the issues. And then, I learn what they need, book the second call during the first call, because you don't like getting ghosted after, especially when you don't sell them anything. They might feel like you just wasted their time. So I also like to, share info during the first call. Like we look over and just share some strategies during the call. That's something that you also just get better with at time the more you do it. And yeah, pretty much I booked the second call during the first one, and then in between the first and the second call, you put together the proposal, which is the final step of the of pretty much the client acquisition. And so it's best to sell on the call. So I run through the proposal together on call for the second call, and pretty much what it writes out, what it goes out from like top to bottom is the goals for the partnership, the deliverables, so what you're actually going to be giving them. In my case, it's like content, engagement, management, all that sort of stuff. And then some important points that a lot of people miss is like how you deliver and what it actually looks like working together. And so, every agency operates differently, every person operates differently. So it's good to I like to share my systems, share, how we deliver on like a weekly timeline so that they actually know what it looks like if you guys did work together. They're not like, here's what you're gonna give me, here's the price, and then they go to work with you and you have this weird system they can't even understand, they don't like it. So it's good to sort that out before you guys even start working together. The final two things is the key performance indicators and any past results you have. And so especially if you have a guarantee, share what that's going to look like. I do have a guarantee of certain growth that we're going to get them, so I like to kind of include that in there as well. And then at the very end, you just share the price and pretty much shut up after that. And so the reason we do that is we want them to see the whole proposal first, understand what they're going to be getting, and really make them interested in it. Like they can see, you know, what you put together, how you're going to help them, and yeah, it really just seals the deal when they want it before they see the price. So they see everything, they're like, yeah, this is really going to help me, and then they see the price and they're like, okay, it's a lot better, because they're not thinking about it, they're thinking about what they're getting, not how much they're paying for it. And so that's pretty much it. That's the entire system. From it's a 5-step system mainly. So there's 2 calls, and then there's, you know, the outreach, the follow-ups, and the Loom video as well. That's at least how I do it. You know, everyone has different methods to go about it. It's a little bit of a long client acquisition system. You know, this is the steps that I personally have to take, because I work with, you know, not just like people or coaches or single individuals. Usually it's like multi-million-dollar companies, sometimes billion-dollar companies. They have to go through management. They have to really understand that they want to get in the, you know, in the partnership. And so generally for like these deals, which can, you know, last months and months and months, because you're on a monthly retainer, it's good to really push it out and make sure they understand what they're getting. Not try to sell them instantly, and show them that you know what you're doing. And that's how you can land big deals, make a lot of money on X. That's at least how I do it. Whatever you offer, it's going to work pretty similarly in terms of like how you deliver it, how you go to them. And so yeah, hope this helps. If it did, make sure you subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.